Hi there, my name is Malebona Maphutse, and I'm an artist based in Johannesburg, South Africa. I've always been interested in art and becoming an artist from a very young age. I've always been artistically inclined. I was quite proficient in drawing in my early years as like 5-year-old, 7-year-old, entering drawing competitions. And so I think I've always wanted to be a painter or an artist. And I think one of the other memories that I remember that have influenced my decision to become an artist, especially a painter, is my grandfather. My grandfather used to be a painter as a hobby. He was a teacher by profession. And I found one of his oil paintings. It's a self-portrait. And I think that kind of made me feel like this is something that would be a legacy to carry on within the family. And that's also one of the reasons why I decided to be an artist. Other than the fact that I've always been artistically inclined, I've always been interested in the arts. And I grew up around spaces and people who were very, very willing to usher me into being an artist. I studied at the University of Witwatersrand in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I was taught by a number of amazing art practitioners who have been very integral in the journey that my career has taken on so far. I've worked with curators like Gabi Ngobo, artist practitioners like Rangwata Hlasane, artists like Reshma Shiba, curators such as Nontobeko Ntombela, who have really shaped my career. Other artists like Carol Nell, as well as a number of artists that have been quite important in my journey as an artist. And I think studying at the University of Witwatersrand really opened me up to a number of like opportunities and spaces in a way that I don't think would have happened if I didn't study there. So these subjects that I'm really interested in as an artist and that give me energy and keep me energized and make me feel like I can wake up in the morning are history. So I'm very fond of the archive and museums, but I also have grown to understand that archiving or history can be seen in more than one way, and it doesn't only have to be witnessed within institutions, formal institutions like museums and archives, in institutions that house archives, but we find archives within the stories that we tell each other, within the oral history that we tell each other, within the interactions that we have in our everyday lives, within the architecture that we witness. I think buildings hold a lot of history in them, people hold a lot of history within them. And so I'm very interested in people as archives, walking archives that can be witnessed in our everyday lives. So the community in Johannesburg, the art community in Johannesburg is quite big, and it has its like pockets of like activations, whether it's formal art institutions, NPOs, artist-run spaces that give space to artists to work without there being so much pressure in terms of selling. So you have NPOs like Bag Factory Artist Studios. You have spaces that are artist-run, like DGI Studios. You have spaces that are supposed to be there to help artists create work in communities. So I think there are a number of different communities that are built within the space, and it's quite close-knit, and I think there are ways to connect to everyone in different kind of ways. But I think the art community in Johannesburg is essentially a space where you can get help if you need help. You can find space and create work with as little as nothing, honestly. And I think that's one of the amazing things about working in Johannesburg, is being able to hustle your way through the industry and finding new ways and inventive ways to make work, because people are always willing to help. People are always willing to start something new with you. So I think that's like really amazing about the community in Johannesburg. I mean, there's obviously the commercial art market, but like people are always willing to have conversations with you about new ideas, new ways of thinking, and creating a space where everyone can kind of have a way of making work. My ambitions as an artist, and what do I want to achieve? I think my ambitions as an artist are to create work that people feel like can help them travel into a different space, into a different world, into a different realm. That is the kind of work that I want to ultimately achieve, like make as an artist. And I think I would really like for that work to reach as many people as possible. And I think that is one of my biggest goals in my career, is to make work that can touch a lot of people and make people feel that way, make people feel like they are transcending into another realm. That is one of my biggest goals as an artist. And I hope that my paintings start that kind of conversation, start that kind of wave, is to transcend into another realm and carry people. And I think there's ways that like music has been able to do that, and art has also been able to do that, and like there's different ways to do that. And I think that's one of the things I really like to achieve as an artist. And my ambitions are to like I said, create work that is accessible to people from all kinds of like backgrounds, all kinds of walks of life, to find themselves within my work, to recognize themselves, and even if they don't completely see themselves, but to see a part of themselves within my work and be transported. I think growing up and reading and watching films and listening to music, I think there's a power in making people, in being able to help people move into another realm.